Hello, welcome to Beautiful Lives Forever. Thank you for being part of our story, wherein we share our story for God's glory. So far, we have been sharing about how we have, Sahana and I, tried and tested a lot of our ways and we failed in everything. And then, when we accepted God and when we surrendered our lives to Him, how He planned our steps and made us meet each other. In today's video, Sahana will share what exactly happened on that day, on October 19th, 2015, when our worlds met and how our worlds met. And as Sahana takes you through the journey down the memory lane, you will see clearly what we can see today, the pattern of God's great love story. Now, this story, as we always say, is not only about us. This is the right of every God's child. The reason why we are sharing it is because the media, the movies, Hollywood, Bollywood, or whichever would for that matter, they will never share this. Nobody wants to give God the glory. But truly, as you will notice, and we have documented a lot of things as well. In fact, at the end of this video, I'll be sharing with you the screenshot of how we met on that particular day. It's a WhatsApp screenshot. So we knew that someday we would be sharing our story for God's glory, and so we documented a lot of steps down the way. So over to Sahana, who will be sharing with you how we met on that day, October 19th, 2015. Walk with us down the memory lane.
Hello friends, this is Sahana here again. And once again I'm here to share our story. Our story is of an incredible hope, unwavering faith, and extraordinary love. Let me tell you this, my friend. This hope, faith, and love are only found in Jesus Christ. This story of ours is a relentless tale of pursuit, of God and God pursuing us, never giving up on each other. And our story is that of unconditional love, the kind of a love which surpasses all understanding. It's not about who we are, it's about God, and this story conveys the message who God is. God is pure love. As I was sharing in the last video, Ajay had not even heard about my place. There was no chance that we would ever meet. So walk with me today as I take you down the memory lane. It was October 19th, 2015, a day like any other in my life. As usual, I was going about my routine. Suddenly, there was an inner urge for me to pray right away. This was an invitation from God to spend some time with Him. I had no clue that this day would forever alter my life. The time and hour had come closer. All the prophecies and prayers were to be fulfilled today. All my waiting to end, and the man whom the Lord has promised He would send long ago was to come finally. I had no clue any of this. When I had this inner urge to pray, I ignored it, convincing myself that I will do it sometime later, and I got myself busy with some other task. Finally, around at 7 o'clock in the evening, I could not resist anymore, so I decided to spend some time with God. As I started praying, all the noise around me began to fade away. Once again, I was face to face with my heavenly Prince, Jesus Christ, and God began to show me all the events of my life one by one. And these events were highly emotionally devastating ones. I was led to gently surrender those areas, all the pain, the rejection and the affliction, the heartbreaks and the heartaches. Everything that I have ever gone through was poured out to Him in prayer, asking Him to cleanse me, wash me clean, renew my spirit and fill me with His Holy Spirit. This was thorough soul searching and not leaving any kind of traces of a past or a whatever that is not from God in my life. And after finishing prayer and my dinner that day night, as I usually check my phone for some time, and I opened my WhatsApp Messenger that day night around 10 o'clock. There was a message waiting for me. Can you guess this message from whom? Yes, it was. This message read, "This is Ajay D. Almeida from Mumbai. Let me share a little background of Ajay, how he contacted me that night. One of my Facebook friend from Goa, a girl who is not married, she was a little anxious about she's getting old and she's not getting any proposals, and things are not working her way. And I was counseling her from quite some time, sharing her some help, praying with her, and preparing her how to pray for a future husband. And I was continuously counseling her and all these things, as she has been my friend for quite some time. And this girl also knew Ajay, and other part of the country, Ajay was also doing the same thing as I was doing with her, counseling and helping her spiritually. Even Ajay was helping her to prepare for her future spouse and how to pray and all those things. So she found us to very similar. And also at the same time, Ajay had this WhatsApp group for a Catholic woman and a Catholic man separately, and she was part of this Ajay's group, Real Catholic Woman, where we share faith and intercession and all those things. And she wanted me to be a part of this WhatsApp group. And that day she gave my number to Ajay, asking me to add in the group, and that is how Ajay added my number to the group, and he welcomed me saying, "This is Ajay D. Almeida from Mumbai, and your number has been provided by so and so person, so I welcome you, and we are honored to have you in the group." That was the message. We will also be sharing the screenshot of that conversation that took between us that day. Long before we got married, we have decided that someday we will be sharing with everyone. So we have saved our conversation in the email chat. So Ajay will be sharing that tonight. And also,
Hello, friends. I'm sure by now you must be awestruck as you heard in Sahana's own words how we met on that eventful day, October 19th, 2015, the day that changed our lives forever. What was I going through on that day? As I woke up on that day, I felt that there's something extraordinary about this day. I just didn't know what it was, but I knew that there was something extraordinary about that day. I had no idea how extraordinary it would be, and I definitely did not have any idea that one day I'll be sharing that with the whole world. So, a friend of mine from Goa, whom I had met on Facebook, who was searching for or discerning a vocation in marriage, I was counseling this friend. And as our counseling was going on, she mentioned that there's a person just like me whom she has met. And she told, why not add her to the group Real Catholic Women, which I happened to administer at that time. And I said, okay, fine, let's add her. And I added her, and I welcomed Sahana. And then you must have seen in the screenshot. Finally, at around 10 or something like that, around 10 o'clock, I get a message back from Sahana. And it was as if I was waiting for that message. I just didn't know why. See, we had not even seen each other. Forget about Facebook profiles or forget about looking at each other. We had never done that actually, because both of us had surrendered ourselves to God to such an extent that if God called us to be single, or if God called us to join the religious orders, or anywhere that God calls us, we were ready. So we had reached that moment. And so we never thought about looking at each other or anything. I just messaged her. It was a casual message. And then when I contacted her back at 10 o'clock, when she responded to my message, which was just to welcome her to the group, something changed. I felt that I'm in the presence of someone extraordinary. I felt that God was actively being a part of that conversation. As we spoke, as we just chatted, in fact, we didn't even speak, it was just a chat. We could see, we could look at each other, we could actually see each other as if there was no barriers between. God gave us a perfect vision of each other. Before she would say anything, I would know what she was about to say. Before I would say anything, she would know what I was about to say. And it was so crystal clear that I was amazed. Never had that ever happened in my life. And I knew that something, God was at work at that moment. There's a third person in our conversation during that moment. The person who makes everything possible. Jesus Christ. So it was going on so well. We were speaking to each other and we found out within 15 minutes, we both heard God's voice in our hearts saying that this is it. This is your vocation. This is it. And the joy and the peace that flowed in our hearts and the conversations that we had ever since, they were amazing. We did not even have the need to ask for each other's pictures. In fact, we could not see each other's pictures at that moment. We did not even find the need of looking up on Facebook and finding out who she is or who he is. All that insecurity was not there at all. We never had that. And that's not to boast about ourselves. We have fallen umpteen number of times before we surrendered our lives to God. All glory goes to God, because the moment we did this surrender aspect, the moment we walked on the path of faith, we were liberated from all the nonsense of the world. We were liberated from the fact of overthinking, of scrutinizing too much, finding out how she looks, how he looks, what's his height, what's her height, what's her color, whether she's missing whether she's missing any teeth or whether I'm missing any teeth. Okay? None of that mattered. Nothing mattered, because we could see soul to soul. This is how we met, my friends. Within 15 minutes of our chat, we knew that we were supposed to be with each other forever. And then we are going to share many other things as well. In fact, we're going to share with you more screenshots, how we progressed that, and how I mustered the courage, in fact, to just go and speak to her dad. And that was also a test by her, which I did not know at that time. Don't worry, I'm going to share with you in details about that as well. It was not just that we met and we knew that we are supposed to be with each other. There were many other things that were supposed to be done. Without the hand of God, I'm sure they would never have been done. So that's our story for God's glory. Much more to come. In the upcoming videos, I will share with you how I made the first move, and how it's very important for the man always to make the first move, and in what manner I made that move, guided by the grace of God, so that I was able to win the heart of my queen. This is Ajay for God's glory. Thank you for watching Beautiful Lives Forever, and please share this video and subscribe to our channel so that we may be encouraged to share even more deeper insights with you. Thank you. God bless.
Hope you liked the video.
Subscribe and click for bell icon for more awesome content.